And we're back.
Back at it again.
And back at it again.
Behind the scenes.
Was a tag team back again.
Party on, party on. Let's begin.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, this is what the 17th take of this episode, maybe 18. I lost track.
If Jason freezes, we're just gonna roll with it. I think and just let it go. Yeah. He's been having some internet issues, which is very funny because Jason's given me a lot of.
We're talking about that.
It just froze. I'm not kidding you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's freezing now
because the audio seems to be fine, right?
Audio seems fine, but it's funny because Jason's giving me a hard time for I don't know how long about my internet. Yeah. And now my internet has been great. It's been running awesome. I got new. You can hear my son. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but he's screaming in the background. Something. I think he's saying me. But anyways, it's been funny because Jason always gives me a hard time, and now it's sweet revenge.
What did you say the other day? Karma yesterday when it was acting real bad.
And I don't really necessarily believe in karma, but it's just a saying. But yeah, it is kind of ironic that you're having the issues now. And
so I guess for those who watch the show, it'll be a fun game. So put down in the comments how many times you saw me freeze during the course of this episode.
Do you know why this is funny? Because you did this for me one time on a live, and it was super embarrassing, and I was getting really angry.
Oh yeah, you were like furious. You were like gonna rage into the Hulk. You were so mad. I'm just gonna roll with it. It's just kind of like, what did we talk about in our last episode about gut? This is just like it's in my gut. Like I just have like this kind of irritation in the pit of my stomach right now. I'm just trying to push it away. Just deal with it.
Was it Bad Boys where they're like woo-sa? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
He's like woo-sa. Or what's that? There's that other movie with
I think it was Anger Management with
yeah, but he does that too in that one too, but he says something else.
He says Goose Fraba or something like that.
Yeah, Goose Fraba.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been going back through and rewatching Walking Dead as well as the Walking Dead spinoffs, and I was thinking I grew up very outdoorsy. Went through Scouts. I'm Eagle Scout. Spent a lot of time outside. I feel like I'm pretty handy when it comes to construction. But I was thinking as I was going to sleep the other night, I was like, you know what? If the apocalypse actually came, how much value would I provide? Because when my internet goes out, I can't do anything. Like I can't work at all. So I wouldn't have like a career in the apocalypse. Like I can't do marketing in the apocalypse. And then like, I don't know if I could handle not being able to connect to stuff. Like, I think I would be just so irritated.
Oh man, what's that? There was a TV show where it was like the apocalypse end of the world thing, and like everything just went dark. Like no power.
Some people had stuff that would turn it back on. Yeah.
So
Revolution.
Yes. And there was a guy on there that used to work for Google, and he was like, I used to be able to do all kinds of stuff, and I used to be able to help everybody, and now I can't do anything.
Yeah, I have no marketable skill set in the post-apocalyptic world. But no, I feel like I can build stuff, and so and I'm pretty handy. So I feel like
I don't have anything. That. I have people skills, so maybe I can just be a negotiator.
You could be a community leader. You could be like the good community leader.
I could be
not the ones who like kill people.
Yeah, I could be the people who like tell people what to do and say, all right, you go do this and you go do that. And then like, what? But then it reminds me of Lost and how Jack was the community leader. And then he would get mad that he's the leader. And then he's like, I'm the leader. And everybody's like, what's your deal? I don't want to be the leader. And you're like, you got to pick a lane, bro. You keep going from, I like to be a leader. And now you're saying you don't want to be the leader.
Yeah, that was classic Jack's struggle though. It's the struggle between who he really was and who he wanted to be, and who he wanted to live up for his dad to see him be, and who he wanted to be for other people, and who he wanted to be on the island. It's classic Jack, man. You could be Jack.
I don't want to be Jack.
You could be conflicted. You could be the conflicted guy in the post-apocalyptic world.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay, so am I still freezing a lot, or
no? It's rocking now. It's only when you made the joke of saying no, and then it just froze. So
okay, so don't raise my voice up and don't get super animated.
No sudden movements. I can do all that, but you have to be stoic.
Okay, I'm going total Zuckerberg right now.
Sweet baby Rays. Sweet.
I would be lying if I didn't say that I wanted to put Sweet Baby Rays on my shelf. And just wait until you said something. I think that needs to be an episode. I think that needs to be something what we discuss in the future is their rebrand for Meta.
Did you see there was a video that's going around of him doing a live, but it's actual, like he's talking about doing barbecue and he keeps saying we should add some more Sweet Baby Rays. I think, and it's this whole thing, and like they're just cutting to him saying Sweet Baby Rays over and over.
I haven't seen it.
It was so funny.
But you know, I wonder about stuff like that. Like, is that something that he put on that shelf? Like, is it something like he did on purpose as like an Easter egg, just like to be goofy because he's an oddball? Like, I wonder how much stuff of that is just to put on or what. But I found it funny. I think I saw it on Reddit when it came out, but I thought it was funny.
Oh, what are you drinking? Is it Yoohoo?
Yoohoo?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From chocolate milk from a metal can? Disgusting. Chocolate milk from that glass bottle? Even more disgusting.
You're kidding me. You're joking, right?
No. Yoohoo is vulgar. I don't know if I just alienated like a section of our audience, but
you saying that is vulgar. You just said a curse word.
Yoohoo is nasty. I haven't had it in so long.
Band name,
I'm sure I would still hate it.
You band name, I called it. Yoohoo is nasty.
Yeah, Yoohoo is nasty.
No, dude, I love it. What was that beep? I heard a beep. Is your computer beeping? You're beeping now. I heard a beep.
I don't hear any beeps.
That's so weird. Okay, anyways.
My son's playing video games down the hall, so maybe that's it. I doubt it. But no, so
today we're talking. Why are you wearing hold on.
That's the segue right there.
That's right there. That's where we're going. Why are you wearing a? Is it a blazer or are you wearing is it a suit jacket? Because there's two different. Okay.
It's a blazer, man. Joseph A. Bank, bud.
Whose trails are you blazing right now? Why are you wearing that?
Joseph A. Bank, the 1905 collection.
Show off.
I bought it for my sister-in-law's wedding. I want to get some more use out of it. No, so I want to talk about the whole concept of dress for success today. This is something that really bothers me. This is something that we go back and forth on. This is something that Zack has to message me about before we get on calls with potential prospects to say, hey, bud, you need to wear something nice.
You do. I think you do. Okay, and here it is. What's ironic is you actually have your blazer on, and I'm wearing a hat and a t-shirt. And we said we were talking about the topic, and I was like, "Oh well, crap! I need to go put on something." No, you don't. People don't care. I think people care more than you think you do. They do. And I think that there's a reason you should, as an entrepreneur, specifically. Well, I mean, I guess not specifically. I mean, anybody. I think people take you more serious when you do put on a different outfit, or you dress more put together. I guess you can dress casually and put together. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and I have my athletic gear on from working out.
Yeah, I love how much this bothers you. It bothers you.
Yeah,
it bothers you so much.
Here's why. I'll tell you why. So, in previous employer that I worked for, there was a CEO that was younger than a lot. I don't even think he was, when he left there, I think he was 31. So most of the people above him, or most of the other lead team staff, or the people who were on management, were older than him. I mean, easily 15, 20 years older than him. He was the youngest one. Yeah. Now he was, and I tell you this all the time, he's probably the smartest one in the room, for sure. Even people older than him, just because that's the way his brain worked. And he was the only guy in the entire office. Now, he wasn't CEO. He was when he left, but he wasn't CEO the whole time. He was I forget what he was, COO or something like that. But he wore a suit every day, except they had casual Fridays, which I always thought was funny. But every day he wore a suit.
Yeah.
Wasn't required. We didn't have. He wore casual Friday. Like that wasn't a thing. It was just that he wore something nice or more laid back on Fridays.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the office is wearing jeans and t-shirts, hoodies. He was the only one in the room that had a suit on. But you could tell how people treated him compared to somebody wearing something different.
Yeah.
So what I did was I said, one day I said, told my wife, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to step my game up a little bit. It's not required. I don't have to wear this. I would still wear jeans, but I would wear like a button-up shirt, tuck it in, the jeans, and have
you
a
always
blazer.
look nice. You always look nice when you are going to work.
Yeah, or I would wear, like when it's colder, wear a sweater with a button-up shirt underneath it, and then you put on a blazer and stuff like that. Never went to the suit route. I didn't go that far. Or I would wear khakis, and I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I got different results from people, especially when I was talking about things I wanted to implement, things I wanted to try, things I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got a different response.
Yeah.
Than if I was standing there in t-shirt and jeans or shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a different response. And so it kind of just stuck with me of like, then that may not be everybody's experience by any stretch of the imagination, because I just don't think some industries require that. And this one didn't necessarily have that either. But I was standing in a room with other people who were wearing t-shirt and shorts or t-shirt and jeans, and I dressed differently. And if we had a meeting with somebody who didn't know anybody, my superior would be sitting over there with shorts or jeans and a t-shirt, and here I am dressed nicer than him, and they're looking at me.
Yeah,
they're talking to me. They're not talking to him, and I'm like, you need to talk to that, because that's not me. You have to talk to him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like stuck with me for a long time of just like, that's why when I get on a client call, I don't want to wear a t-shirt. I don't want to wear a hat.
Yeah.
Now, after we've been established with them, I feel more relaxed with them.
Yeah.
Where I can do that. But first impressions, first couple times that we get on calls with them, I will step it up. I won't wear a hat. Like one recent client, when we first started meeting with them, it was a nonprofit. I dressed nicer on some of the opening calls, and then by the end of it, I think I was wearing like a North Face shirt or whatever, and it just so happens that the owner who we were talking to, she's like, "Oh, I love North Face. I love Patagonia and all that sort of stuff." So it was kind of funny, and it was ironic that I was wearing one. So I don't think it's always, but yeah, we do go back and forth, and I do tell you, Jason, you can't wear a graphic tee today. You got to wear.
Yeah. I think part of it is part of it's working from home, because it's so easy to just wear whatever because you're around the house, and it feels odd to me to dress up just to be at home all day. But what's even funnier is, what was our position? Gosh, years ago when we would talk about, okay, when we launch our business, I used to be so hard-nosed about like what the vision was going to be for like the office culture.
I'll never forget this, because I told you, I was like, I want to be more relaxed. Remember this? I said, I want to be more relaxed. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to wear hats. And you said, no hats ever. And I see people, this is what you said. When I see adult men in hats, it makes me feel like they're like juvenile. I'm like, and look what's on your wall behind you, and what do you have on your head?
Hats.
I'm just saying, Jason has changed.
And so have you. The change is good. And I feel like, as casual as I am, I do feel good when I dress up. But just being real, also as someone who weighs a lot more now than they used to, I don't like to dress up as much, because I never really had clothes after weight gain that fit well. And I feel like that's an issue too. So I did buy some new clothes recently that fit better, the sport coat being among them. And I went to what is it? My sister-in-law got married probably almost 3 months ago at this point. But at the what's the thing the day before the test run? What do they call it? The pre-wedding, I don't know, whatever it's called. The rehearsal dinner, that's what it is. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And at the rehearsal dinner, I was dressed up very nice. I thought that I made a good effort, and I got lots of compliments. I think it's because people are so used to seeing me dressed down that people were kind of shocked that I looked like I had made an effort, which made me feel really good. But then also I was in my head for quite a bit after that, thinking like, well, what do they think of me when I normally like, do they're like, oh, look at the schlub coming. So it's very much like a conflict that I have because also part of my identity is wrapped up in the fact that I'm an apparel designer. And so aside from this tee and a few others, because this tee is done by a designer called Patrick Spence. 95% of my apparel at the house that I have is my shirts. And so I kind of wear them also to promote myself, because when I go out, like at the grocery store just a couple days ago, the kid who's bagging my groceries was like, I love your shirt. Where can I get it? So I talked to him and hopefully made a sale off of it. But to me, it's also about branding, but also I feel like maybe I need to shift my brand a little bit to not be so casual, because you're right. I think it's, as you were talking, I felt my brain trying to shift the other direction, because what's funny is, Zack said I used to be very different in how I envisioned, working for myself and what that would look like. And to people who don't know me, I, growing up, like on Sundays, and when we go to church, I would wear a 3-piece suit. I'm talking like straight up 3-piece suit with a watch chain,
the vest and everything.
Yeah. I had a 3-piece suit. Sunday morning, one of my favorite ones, I had a green tweed suit that I wore for years. And I had a gold pocket watch that I would keep the chain out from the pocket to the from the belt to the pocket. And it was all about dressing super nice. And then come like middle school, high school, I had this like shift where I kind of like rebelled against that, and I didn't want to wear that at all. And then I went through that shift again a few years ago. But I don't know, man. It's like, I get it. Like, I get that I should look nice, but it's like I don't know. It's just like a thing inside of me that I feel like I want to be comfy casual, but I also fear that being too casual might be off-putting for a potential client. But I also want to be myself, So I think like I get wrapped up in this like big cyclical argument where I keep like looking at it from every point of view, and I never really land on anywhere. And so on any given day, sometimes I'll wear a dress shirt. The next day I might wear a t-shirt. The next day I might wear a polo. The next day I might wear a hoodie. And so I have no style.
This is becoming like more of like a counseling session.
Yeah.
But I think that you can present yourself in the way that you want. For example, I think you can find nicer clothes that present, because that was always a struggle for me as well, is like being a designer. Like, I also wanted to dress nice, but I also wanted to look creative.
Yeah.
So I would purposely find like button-up shirts or sweaters or something that could be, it's dressier, but it's got more pizzazz to it, more flair to it. So it's got a funky pattern, or it's got something on it that, like, I have you guys make fun of my floral shirts. You and some of the other people on the team, like, oh, like your floral shirt. But hey, it presents some of my creativity, presents some of my outward expression of being a creative designer. And then I even think you go as far as some of the stuff behind you, right? So you have some of that stuff behind you. So like, I mean, I have one Freddy right there, another Freddy right there. I've got all these cameras that are, I mean, I have more of a retro vintage feel anyway with the record player and everything. So I think it depends on what you want to present. And I'm with the way you dress, I think you can find other ways to present that's not, like you said, off-putting to a potential client, where a potential client could say, I'm going to spend $30,000 with you, and you're wearing a t-shirt and a hat. So
well,
you know what I mean?
What I'm thinking is, as we're sitting having this conversation, I'm like, you know what? I don't mind having this t-shirt and a sport coat on. Maybe my new style is a plain tee with a sport coat. Like I just meet myself in the middle and create my own style. So
it's actually, that's a thing now. I mean, people do that.
I want it to be my thing though.
Yeah, well, let's talk.
I'm not a trendsetter.
Let's talk afterwards, because you may not want to do that after I tell you something. But I agree. I think people look at you differently, and so let's go back to.
Well, what's funny? Hold on a second. Pause this. So remember when we were looking at getting a like a business mentor, I feel like that's one of the first questions I asked, because it's something that really bugs me, because I feel like I want to run the business and I want people to buy in on me, like I want people to buy in on Jason, because that's what we sell. We sell Jason and Zack, or Zack and Jason, depending on how the conversation's going. We sell ourselves, and I feel like I want to be genuine and sell myself, but like I don't want to cut my nose off to spite my face. Like I don't want to push it so far to where it becomes detrimental. So yes, I will wear a nice clothes to a business meeting or something like that. But I also want to be genuine, and so it's like it's a hard thing to define yourself and make sure that you are genuine to yourself and true to yourself, but also not detrimental and presenting a bad face to your brand or the wrong face.
Yeah. So to go to what you said is, you feel silly dressing up to sit at your desk in your home all the time. Now, my wife says something all the time. She says, not only are you teaching yourself, like mentally, of I'm taking what I'm doing seriously. I want people to take me seriously. So I could have a surprise, and I have to think about my day. And if I have any meetings, okay, if I'm going to work out, what time of the day I'm going to do that depends on what I'm wearing. Because right now I'm wearing athletic gear on the bottom of this t-shirt, and then I have a hat on, just because that's the way the day went. I didn't have any meetings today. Well, we did have one meeting, but doesn't matter. But so I have to think through that, and I think you're mentally telling yourself, I'm taking this seriously. This is a serious thing. I could spend all day in my PJs, but then it feels like a hobby.
Yeah. That is one thing that I do that I think it's super important when you work from home. And I did this for quite a while once COVID hit and I was working from home every day. I made it a point for a while to only wear jeans, like not to just default to like a pair of shorts, to like get into the mode of working from home. And then after a while I stopped that. I was like, well, I'm just getting hot now. I'm going to wear a pair of shorts, but I would still dress up like I was actually going into the office. And that eventually just kind of devolved into now, but I still make it a point to change. That's one thing I don't think I could do, is just still wear the same thing that I wore the night before, like jammies, my gym jams,
jammy jams.
Yeah, my jammy jams. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And so I think you're teaching yourself that, right? You're taking this seriously. It doesn't feel like a hobby. Like you're sitting and like that's what people who play video games all day do, right? They stay in their pajamas. What you're doing is not. You're building a business. You're building something that's growing, something that's going to be important.
Yeah.
And you want others to take it seriously as well. So
Mm-hmm.
getting that mindset, even with just getting up and getting ready for the day, makes a mental shift. But if you have kids, it also teaches them something, right? It teaches them, hey, I take my work seriously.
Yeah.
And here's how I'm showing you that I take it seriously by doing this. Now, doesn't mean you have to always, to the nines, wear a suit. And some people do that. In fact, the guy that I was telling you about, that was the CEO of one of the companies I worked for, he's now on his own venture. And every time that I get on a call with him and talk to him, do a video call, he's in a suit at his house. He's got a suit and tie, and he's sitting there and he's working. And that's his MO. I mean, that's what he's used to doing. So I think it does train your mind, but it also, I think if you have kids, it also trains them to see, you take your work seriously. I'm taking mine seriously. I want you to take it seriously. And I also think if you have employees, I think that there's a respect that happens. You have more authority in having a conversation with them about things if you're dressed a little bit nicer than if you're dressed less than what they are. Like I mentioned, like having that meeting where I'm dressed nicer than my superior, and the person who's meeting with us is talking directly to me. Why? Because I feel like I'm dressed the part and he's not. Do you see what I mean? So I think that there's just a mental thing that happens, that people respond to who's in authority in this space. I'm looking for the most well-dressed person. That guy or that girl has to be the one that's in charge.
Isn't that crazy though? Like
it is, but
that the clothes you wear change it. Like I get it. Like it makes sense. It makes sense that like that wearing something different can change like somebody's perception of you, right? But isn't that crazy how that is? Like
it makes sense.
I have this internal war with myself that say like, it shouldn't be that way. Society shouldn't be that way. Like business shouldn't be that way. But it is.
It's not,
and
I mean,
just,
I don't think it's taught either. I think it's a natural tendency. I don't even think it's something where somebody told you that that's the way you should look at it.
I'm saying like, but it's in that interesting that it happens, you know?
Yeah. And I think if you're in a culture where, for example, I know that there's some companies out there where everybody's wearing t-shirt and jeans. Then I think that's a probably unique situation where, not to say that it's not taken seriously, but the culture doesn't require that. And even if you guys are having meetings, everybody's dressed the same. I did work in here's what's interesting is I worked in another company where it was required for you to dress nice. And what's funny is we never met with clients, but we were all dressed as if we were. Now the leadership, the owners were more old school in that manner. And I hated it. Isn't that funny? Like I hated it. Like it was more of like, I don't want to be forced to do it. I want to have the choice to do it.
Right.
But the thing was like no jeans ever, except on Fridays, which they had casual Fridays there.
Yeah, that's the company that we worked at, that I worked at before we launched this full time. When I started, that's how it was. No jeans, no sneakers ever, except on Fridays. You could be casual. But I think there was like there was still some kind of stipulation about sneakers. So you wear jeans, but you still couldn't wear sneakers. I can't remember what it was, but it was very specific, really trying to go for a certain image. And they rebranded and changed offices, moved to an open office layout, and really resculpted the brand. Made it more of a casual environment. Still no like shorts or anything, but yeah, jeans and jeans and sneakers, totally fine. I remember I had a meeting. I was in a meeting and one of the VPs before the change, one of the VPs was like, "Are you wearing sneakers?" And I was like, "Yeah." Because I was like new or something like that, and realized that I couldn't, like, there was like a certain day that I couldn't wear them, and I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, make sure you kind of stay in your office and you don't go walking around the floor today, so like people don't see how you're dressed, because I was in a position of leadership, and she was like, you need to make sure that you don't go showing other people what you're wearing. And I was like, oh gosh, sorry, yeah, I'll stay in my office. And so it was, it's just interesting. It's interesting how different businesses, different office cultures have different things that they're trying to project. And that makes sense. Like if everybody's dressed the same way, then sure. But also, like, I don't know, like, do you take that company any less serious because everybody there's in shorts? I mean, in jeans and t-shirt. I don't know.
I think it depends. I think if you are being introduced to them and you don't see their work,
Yeah.
that's one that yeah, you need to go above and beyond.
Yeah. So like the
For-
work would stand for itself regardless of the look of the person behind it.
right, but if
Like
somebody
look of
doesn't know
clothes
that
or
right away, they don't know the quality of work that you put out and all that sort of
yeah.
thing. Like they just
Yeah.
see you and they don't know what you can produce and what work you, and so you're meeting with them for the first time and you're dressed down.
Mm-hmm.
I think the initial tendency is to go, they're not the real deal.
Yeah.
And then once you show them the work, they're like, oh, okay. But do you want that to be the first impression? No, you want them to be like, these guys have it together. Oh, and their work has got it together as well. I feel more comfortable spending. But once again, I think it depends on the industry. I think if you are just a designer, I think that most people are more relaxed. They see all the tattoos and all that sort of stuff, and they're like, I get it. You're in a creative field.
Yeah.
A photographer, I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's where you can get by.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a creative field, but I think that there's a bit of a difference because of the marketing aspect that we do is more corporate and businessy,
Consulting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if we were just a design agency, what you're wearing, what I'm wearing right now, would not be a problem meeting with clients.
Yeah.
Because it's almost to be expected. Like I think that makes sense. But if you're getting into some corporate world and you're looking at proposals that are, multi, like a couple thousand or several $1,000s, then I would step it up.
Yeah.
But I think it also depends on what you feel comfortable with doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, like you said before, I'm worried that they're not going to get me. I think you can find ways, like I said before, I think you can find ways to elevate your style in a classy, creative way.
So I don't have to go full like Jim at the office wearing the tuxedo.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to go full on hobo either. Yeah, I get it. Like I feel like this is kind of like an important moment for me because several years ago when I was at my first like real job, and I was running a team, I wore like slacks and a polo every day. And then I really wanted to step it up. So I went out and I bought some suits. I bought a bunch of nice dress shirts, bought some sweaters, and that was my wardrobe for a while. And then I was just like, what am I doing? Like, this isn't me. And so like, I felt like I wasn't being true to myself. And I felt kind of like a fake. And so I feel like I just need to try again and see if I can blend who I want the image I want to present for the company and as an entrepreneur, and then also still, being true to myself,
It's funny. I have a funny story. So when I first started my freelance business, this is years, like right out of college. I had started doing, I was doing some freelance design work and all that sort of stuff. And I got contacted to do some video work for a school system.
Yeah.
Which was a big deal because I was like, this could be a big project.
Right.
And I needed help with it. So shout out to LJ, a good friend. I'm calling him out because he won't care. But he was still in school, and because I was working, my wife was still in school, and we were working on the campus of the school or the college we went to, and that's how I made this connection with this other school system.
Okay.
Long story short, I needed help, and we were going to join. Me and LJ were going to join forces together and freelance together and kind of build a business together. Then
Yeah.
I was 23 at the time, 24, and we're going to ride together to the meeting. So I go up. He was still living in the dorms, which is funny. So I go up to his dorm room, and he's in like a deep V, which LJ. He's in like a deep V. He's got this cardigan on.
Yeah.
Tight jeans. I was like, "What are you wearing?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "You can't wear that." He's like, "I want them to see my creativity. I'm selling my creativity." I was like,
yeah, exactly. I get it.
That you can't do that. This is a school system. They're going to look at that and go, "I'm sorry, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much." Y'all. I was wearing like,
your school is not campus. Your apparel is not school appropriate. You need to leave our meeting right now.
I was wearing slacks. I had like at the time I was into the Express for men, and so I had this nice Express shirt and I had a tie on and everything. And he's like, "Why am I dressing like that?" And I was like, "Yes, you are, or you're not going." He goes, "Why would it go?" I was like, "Then you gotta lace it up, brother.
Yeah,
and you got 5 minutes because we gotta go." And he did, and obviously we're not do anything together, but so it didn't go. What's funny is the client meeting. I'll never forget. This could be another conversation for another episode, but I start talking about all the houses that she starts going over this thing. I'm telling you, it was gonna be hours and hours and hours of footage, and this is back when you had to shoot it on tape. You need to go back and put it in the dock, and then it had to be transferred real time onto your computer. So if you shot an hour and a half of footage, it's going to take an hour and a half for it to be uploaded to your computer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I have to charge for that because I can't do anything. So I'm losing now time. And so it's double the time. Yeah. And I gave her like I said, "This is really rough, so please don't hold me to it." And she's like, and then I asked for a sample. She got up and she said, she walked out of the room and she came back in. Like as soon as she walked out, she turned back around. She goes, "I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm baffled that you're charging that much. I thought this was going to be done for free because we're a school." I'm like, no. I don't think this is going to work. And I looked at when we left the meeting, Eldra's like, I think he said something about what he said. "See, if I was dressed more creative, we probably got that." But anyways, I think that you can. I think that it just depends on the situation, depends on the industry, depends on the client. We don't dress. I mean, I'll wear this for client meetings if I feel more comfortable. We've got a relationship established, so I think you can get away with it. So, anyways, I appreciate your openness today. I appreciate your come in next week, Jason. We'll talk more about we'll do more therapy sessions with you.
Yeah.
But
thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like I have an idea of how I want to present myself, because I feel like it's a real thing. Like it's a very real issue that I struggle with as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, to make sure that I'm presenting the right image, and still being true to myself. So I just need to find a blend. Yep. I'm not wearing a DV though. I promise you that.
Oh, are they called Y shirts where it goes way down like here?
Woo, super dupe V. No, thank you.
Man.
Yeah. Until,
all right, guys.
Let's cheers it out.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Boom. Dink. See you guys
later.